Good evening, everybody. At this time, I'd like to call the November 1st, 2021 East Ridge Planning Commission meeting to order. Before we begin, can we have roll call, please?
Chairperson Chauncey,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Tuggle, Commission Member Cornelius,
Here.
Commission Member Howe, Commission Member Miller.
Here.
Okay. First of all, I want to introduce Mr. Scott Cornelius, our new member of the Planning Commission member. Thank you, Scott, for your service, sir. I'm glad you're here. Before we get down to business, we need to approve the minutes from our September 8th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. I trust we've had a chance to look over the minutes. If no one has any questions, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve.
I'll second the motion. Can we have roll call, please, Janet?
Commission Member Cornelius,
Abstain.
Commission Member Miller,
Yes.
Chairperson Chauncey.
Yes. All right, the first item on the agenda tonight is going to be for the address of 100 block of Interstate 75. That's to request of the city of East Ridge to have the property located at tax map number 169D-A-001 to be acquired by WWTA for wastewater and stormwater holding tanks.
Good evening, members of the Planning Commission. Yes, I'm Mark Litchford, City Attorney. This is an application filed by the city. This, as well as the item number listed as number 5, but we'll start with number 1, the 100 block of Interstate 75. This is a tract of land. It's going to be around 13, 14 acres of an area on the north side along the interstate. This property was donated to the city approximately a year and a half ago, and we've got an opportunity here that as WWTA is continuing its efforts on the sewer system, at some point we are facing a potential moratorium with respect to the city. And this allows at least the start of WWTA to be able to address those issues so that obviously we can hopefully avoid the moratorium. This would be the site for 2 holding tanks that would be up on this unfinished area. It would not interfere with the cell tower. It also would not interfere with the city's uses that it intends with respect to the conversion that it's undergoing with TDEC and the National Park Service. This would allow for the holding tanks to be there. There would be roped off. Citizens wouldn't have access to it, but we still will have trails to be able to use on the remaining 40-ish acres, give or take, on the remaining 40 acres. So this is an opportunity for the city. This is a mandatory referral that we have to go through in order for us to trigger this as surplus property for purposes of being able to then sell it to WWTA. They have agreed to the purchase agreement that we have in place right now, and if it moves forward, then it's approved by the city council, then there would be a sale purchase agreement executed at that time.
Thank you, Mr. Litchford. Hey, does anyone have any questions for Mr. Litchford before I entertain a motion?
Yes.
Yeah, Mark, the application says wastewater and or stormwater. Do you know which one that they're actually going to go with?
Wastewater is my understanding, yes.
Wastewater.
It's going to be the holding tanks, yes.
I had a feeling on that. All right. That's all I want to know.
Any questions? No questions? So I believe we're poised to approve or deny the request of the city to acquire the property, pretty much. So,
Yeah, we're requesting approval
Okay.
from this to recommend approval to the city
Okay.
council.
all right, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Nope, okay. Got a first to approve.
Yeah, motion
Do
to
I
approve.
hear a second?
Second.
Got a first to approve by Commission Member Miller and a second by Mr. Cornelius. Any other questions or discussion? I see none. Have roll call, please, Janet.
Commission Member Cornelius,
Yes.
Commission Member Miller,
Yes.
Chairperson Chauncey.
Yes. All right, that item was approved. Last item on the agenda is going to be for the property on Stone Street. the request of the City of East Ridge to abandon a portion of Stone Street, tax map number 169J-A-017, and tax map number 169J-A-021 at the easternmost portion.
Members of the commission, this, again, Mark Litchford here. I'm presenting on behalf of the city's application. This was a mandatory referral through RPA that relates to property that's being sought to be abandoned on a right-of-way at Stone Street. Stone Street is a west and east road, and it's a dead-end road that we're asking that a portion of it is identified in the attachments there to be abandoned. This is all part of a bigger plan with the city having purchased the land on the south side of Stone Street for purposes of constructing the East Ridge Animal Shelter. As part of that, on the northern property there, you've got the operations of the restaurant and I think one or two other retail operations. We're going to have the road as closed so that we can then construct fenced in a garbage receptacle area that'll be a trash can or a large dumpster area. It will be sealed off. The developer that owns the northern section, Mr. Emerson Russell, is going to construct that area to be fenced off. It'll have a ramp up to it so that the truck can get up to it and empty out. It's already got a trash receptacle on the current property as it is. We're now going to abandon it and put it in between there to service both properties.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Litchford. Any questions for Mark?
I'm sorry, Mark.
Yes.
The abandonment of that property would revert to the property owners on east and west side of that, would it not?
This would it would revert back to the in this case, the subject properties, which are the north and south. It would not.
No, I meant north and south, okay.
Yes. It would revert back to both of them, and we'll enter into a joint lease agreement between the parties, yes.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. Anyone else? Any questions? No? So no other questions, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. If you'll state your name and their address for the record, please.
My name is Ed Alexander. I'm with Stanley Heights Baptist Church. We're at 1512 McBrien, and we are serviced by Stone Street there. So my question is, how does this affect our access, and how does this affect the city's maintenance of that road? Because it has been very poor recently. There's a very large hole currently in that little small street, but it receives a significant amount of traffic with Fernando's there, with now the gun store, or what is Southern Shooting Supply, whatever, I can't remember the name of it. There's a bakery there. There's, of course, the barber. There's the print shop. There's the Hispanic store. And now we're talking about adding additionally an animal shelter. That is a significantly trafficked road. You would not think so. But working there on a daily basis, day in, day out, we get a lot of traffic through our parking lot. And my question is, how are we going to address and make sure this doesn't put more traffic through our parking lot, which of course is illegal, but seeing it day in, day out, I observe it all the time. So I have concerns with any portion of that road being closed. It's already too narrow. It's already too narrow for the traffic that goes through there. And again, I see this day in, day out. It's right outside my office. I see traffic through there all the time. There's a telephone pole in that section, and people have to go around the telephone pole. There are overgrown plants there behind Fernando's that are trimmed occasionally. But it's already a very difficult place, and I've seen near accidents there as is. And I'm concerned, as someone who works here in East Ridge, works right there and is affected by it, especially with bringing in another business, as the city is proposing with the animal shelter. I'm concerned about, I don't think it needs to be narrow, and I think, if anything, I would propose it be widened and be considered for the amount of traffic that flows through that area. Thank you for entertaining my question.
Oh, yeah, thank you, sir. So I'm not really sure how abandoning these lines are going to increase the traffic through there or make it more unsafe. Did you have a comment on that, Mr. Litchford?
My response would be, maybe I misunderstood, we're not narrowing anything, we're just shortening and cutting it off. I actually think you'll see a reduction of traffic to the extent that nothing is going to be coming over from Rebecca Avenue or Rebecca Drive. The animal shelter can go there as it is right now, with or without the abandonment. And that is the road, that's the road frontage on the animal shelter property, that vacant. the road frontage of Stone Street. That's going to exist regardless of whether or not you abandon it. If you abandon it, I actually think you're going to see a little reduction as to what the impact would be, because you no longer have people going from Rebecca Drive. Right now, I agree with the gentleman, Rebecca Drive is a large source for people to cut through the property there, what I consider the old bank building. I think it's a
Yep.
grocery. Yeah.
Hispanic grocery store.
And he's right. A lot of people will turn left heading north on Rebecca Drive. They turn left, go through the parking lot, and then connect on Stone Street, and then go over to McBrien. That's going to be cut off now because that is an illegal traffic effort. So now that's going to be stopped. Now, yes, he's right. The traffic from the animal shelter, but again, that can go anyway without the abandonment.
So the increased traffic that we're seeing that the businesses are concerned about is, I think they're coming off McBrien, they're getting caught at that red light, so they take a right on Stone Street and they cut through to avoid staying at the red light, or to avoid getting, okay. So they're coming off, they're,
There's businesses right there. You've got a hub.
I see.
You wouldn't think of it, but there's businesses right there.
so basically this is gonna stop the,
This will stop the through traffic.
they'll
at
stop
this
the
point.
through traffic
No.
entirely.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, and that's correct. It
Okay?
will.
So it would dramatically increase, once people start to realize that they can't cut through there anymore, they'll eventually stop.
That's correct. Yeah, you won't. Now, the shelter itself, the gentleman's right, it will trigger traffic. But whether or not you grant this is immaterial to the shelter traffic, because that's the only road frontage it has. It can go there today without the closure.
Right.
The fact that you close it actually is a benefit to the church, to the extent that it will stop that through traffic from Rebecca to
Sure.
McBrien you are seeing. I mean, you are seeing that a lot.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
And arguably, it's possible it's going to stop the traffic coming out the backside of Fernando's. You see a lot of people coming out the backside of Fernando, turning west on Stone Street and going back up to McBrien. Now, I'm not saying you won't have it, but I'm just saying there may be a reduction of that, because you're going to have this dumpster there that's going to somewhat impede that access from the backside of Fernando's.
In fact, Fernando's could probably put something up there in the back to stop people from, if they wish to do that. So, okay, well, I think we've addressed that concern. Any other questions? I see none. I'll entertain a motion.
Second. I move approval.
Got a motion to approve and a second by Mr. Cornelius and a first by Mr. Miller. Any other discussion? See none. Can we have roll call, please?
Commission Member Cornelius,
Yes.
Commission Member Miller,
Yes.
Chairperson Chauncey.
Yes. All right, that item is approved, and we'll go before City Council for final approval. And I believe that's everything on our agenda tonight. I appreciate everybody coming, and I will move to adjourn. Thank you.
You know, another
There's a reason you're wearing that.
Mark,
Yeah.
you're still on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.